Justin Bieber's Purpose has recently turned 10 years old. As of November 13th, 2025 represents 10 years ever since this album first came out.
If I would've known, it could've been you.
To think that 2015 was 10 years ago, and the fact that Justin Bieber's peak was 2015 to 2016 when he had all the brands on his side, the music was popping off the most, and he was the most handsome at the time. But what about the album though? Purpose, which came, oh god damn it, the light is gonna reflect, so it's gonna mess up the shot. Purpose came out in November 2015. It was the big album which Justin Bieber was coming out with. Even though he had multiple other albums that came out a couple of years before, what did I think of what would be Justin Bieber's biggest album of all time? Purpose. And you may actually wonder why I actually have a CD copy for some reason, because, well, I found it at Goodwill for $1 brand new, alongside with Selena Gomez's Revival in 2019. The most popular hits of Sorry, Love Yourself, Company, Where Are You Now, and What Do You Mean actually are really good hits. I mean, it makes sense why so many people like them. I actually really do prefer Where Are You Now and also Company more than the other ones. I do actually like What Do You Mean more than Love Yourself and Sorry. The other ones, the other songs on this album of Purpose are certainly ones which either are decent enough where you can enjoy them as a casual user to actually seeming like they're mostly demos that were released at the time. Not even good demos either. I mean, I could certainly say that all the songs are great and everything and be a Justin Bieber simp. Oh god, people are gonna start commenting. In all seriousness though, there were quite a few songs which I kind of were like not exactly on the best on. Like No Pressure was one with Big Sean, which Big Sean in that song sounded really not quite himself. I would say weak, but certainly the lyrics weren't quite the same way as if it were to be like As Long As You Love Me. I think the one artist that really surprised me on this album was Travis Scott with No Sense. Like, it seems like Travis Scott had a lot in that song, which actually made the song a lot better. Like, he had basically the spotlight in the song while Justin was kind of on the side doing the same things. If you're a main artist, then that's understandable, but then you also have Hesley in the song with The Feeling. The Feeling with Hesley was also one which was kind of like, it actually was decent enough as a song which I could listen to it casually with like, it's kind of like an okay song, but I did certainly enjoy it. There's also Life Is Worth Living, which I think is like a piano ballad, which it was a decent enough ballad to listen to. Like, it was a really good song that really was trying to get you to be motivated to living life, which please do. Where Are You Now? Love that song without a doubt. It's definitely one of the ones where like, when I heard that it was actually Justin's vocals during the actual like drops and that stuff, that was actually like a really good way. The Song of Children was actually a decent one as well. Like, it was actually a really nice one that really made a lot of like, it didn't really seem like a typical EDM song. It was a decent enough one. It felt like Company out of all things. Purpose was originally the original ending track for the album in itself, and it was fine. It wasn't like the best song, but it was kind of like one where you could certainly listen to it if you're kind of feeling down and you need some motivation. But then this is also the deluxe version as well. So this isn't just like a one-way album. This is actually a deluxe album. So like, actually going into it, the next one, which you can barely tell what the names are, the way that they did that was not exactly the best. Been You was actually a really nice song that I actually really liked. It actually sounded like Beautiful Love out of all things, which I also should say that No Pressure sounded like, what was it, Die For You? Like, it gave off that Die For You vibes a lot. If you had heard Justice, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. Get Used To It was kind of a okay song. Like, a lot of the songs are just okay. We Are was also okay. All In It was definitely one of my favorite songs, like in the deluxe version. Hit the Ground was also like, it's actually technically exclusive to this album. And then you also have The Most, which is actually the original song for what would be Where Are You Now, which decent enough. I think most popular hits, which I would actually definitely say, like Company was my favorite song on the entire album, which I actually just prefer Company out of all the Justin Bieber songs. Besides One Love, which such a great song. What would I actually give this album? And what would I say, at least for this album, for it, is that a lot of the songs are maybe somewhat more forgettable out of all things. Like, the more popular ones you're gonna remember because they're more of the popular ones. But the ones that I would actually say are the ones that I definitely do remember, besides popular hits, Been You, The Feeling, and probably the most. Majority of the other ones are kind of like forgettable. Majority of the songs are decent enough to where I do not think this album is bad. It's just somewhat forgettable. And I actually think it's more forgettable than what Justice had, which Justice, I listened to the album a few times, which is probably the issue too, is I didn't really listen to this album a lot before, and then I just took one big sitting session to just listen to this album. I think if anything, it's a decent enough album if you like pop music. But a lot of them sound like just demos. A lot of them sound like demos that were released and that stuff, and it just doesn't make more sense. And in fact, I think that more of the deluxe album has more tracks that could have made more sense with the album than some of the actual tracks in themselves, like No Sense and No Pressure. Some of the songs just feel like they're out of place, which I wish that they weren't quite out of place, but unfortunately they are. Like, there's gonna be some songs that feel like they're out of place at first, or you're not gonna like them at first, but if you listen to it more, then you'll understand it. Justice didn't feel like that. Like, Justice felt more professional and everything, and yes, there's many instances where this album does mention not being perfect, which this album isn't perfect. And I think for its time, I think it actually makes a lot of sense. It's a good album. It's not perfect. I mean, of course it's not gonna be perfect, but a lot of songs are forgettable too. Like, if you didn't know like the more popular ones, then you'd probably forget about those too. So I think if I could certainly and generously give this album, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. And that's just kind of saying that this album is at least somewhat decent enough to where I think, if anything, if I listened to it more, I think I would enjoy the album more. But some of the songs aren't gonna hit as well as the others, or even the more popular ones. It's kind of like watching a movie or listening to an album. Like, this feels like Deadbeat if it was like the first time, but 6 out of 10. Decent enough album if you listen to it more, but just for me, it feels like a lot of the tracks are demos, and then majority of them are just kind of forgettable at most. So I'm going to say thank you guys so much for watching this little review of Justin Bieber's Purpose, which comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys later when I talk about probably music again besides Justin Bieber's Purpose.